Today, we're going to be talking about a game that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. Now, I know you might be surprised that it's not Duelist of the Roses. However, I did enjoy that game, but the game that I played a lot more and actually wanted to learn, and it was just a fun and different thing because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just a lot of fun, that having something like Capsule Monsters just kind of changed the format and really made the game much more interesting. Now, it didn't make the show much more interesting. As a matter of fact, if you scope through YouTube right this very minute and you type in Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters, you will see that the season that they premiered during and after they made this game are very less than favorable. However, today we're not going to be talking about the show, we're going to be talking about the game. The game is a lot of fun, and it has really good replayability. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I played it on the PlayStation 2, and as a matter of fact, I still have my copy. And it is the same copy I've had since I was pretty young. I got it after a friend of mine owned it, and that was about 2005 to 2006. Yes, I am an old fuck. But let's go ahead and dive right into what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum so much fun. But first, when you think of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're not really thinking of capsule monsters. You're thinking of cards, some interesting card choices, and the hair, and the hair. You're not really thinking of, yeah, you know what, let me just play chess. But let me tell you something, it works. Oh my god, does it work. At least for the games. The show, it was just a bad time to do it. They learned, they moved on. But anyways, the game. Now we'll seriously talk about the game. So, the game itself has a multitude of options, including options to go ahead and have free battle. You have a versus mode, you have sound options, and you have a campaign mode. Obviously, the bread and butter to this game is the campaign mode as well as the versus mode. Those are the two aspects that you're going to be playing the most of. And honestly, the campaign mode is a lot of fun. So you go through and do your character's name. I mean, it doesn't change anything. You're going to be playing as Yugi, so if you think that you're going to have a choice in character, you really don't. What you really have a choice in is what kind of starter kit you have. So you can opt for one of the multiple starter decks, I guess you can call them, or packs, but there's also a second option, is to create your own, and that includes the points that you put into your obelisk. That will show you how many monsters you can have, or how many you have at the beginning. You have MP, which is your monster points, AP, which is your action points, and then your power points. So what's really cool about that is you can really go for a wide variety, and if you know what your enemy has, you can start with the customizable option to just go ahead and have a head start into that battle. But typically what I normally do is choose light or dark because they tend to have the most powerful creatures attached to it. Granted, you'll have some heavy hitters in the fire or water or wood, but for the most part you're going to want to go with whatever you like, really. So I ended up choosing to build my own deck. This way I could kind of show you, because the standard ones are just going to have one type, but this way if you're going to play this game and you want to choose that option, you'll know what you'll be walking into. And again, really, it's just for the ease of planning ahead and having creatures already slotted with different uh, archetypes. So you may have some creatures with lightning, you may have some creatures with fire, you may have some creatures that are water, you may have some that are wind, light, dark, earth, etc., etc. It's really cool to have that option, and you can customize your obelisk. I think that's the coolest part. So like normally you choose, if you're choosing a pre-made one, then you're choosing that obelisk as well. So you don't really get a choice. So after that, we talk to our best pal. We gotta go to the first arena to talk to the best pal, however, it's Joey Wheeler. Now, what this game does a very good job of is yapping. So in the beginning when I was talking about monster points, Grandpa does all the yapping. This time, Yugi does all the yapping with himself, or aka Yami. Now, this first stage is treated like a tutorial, and they do a good job of explaining it. This way, if like you're confused or something, because it is a new format, it does a good job with it. Basically, what you want to hope for is that you go first. That's like the whole goal, because that means you're going to summon first, that means you're going to be able to move your creatures first, and everything is going to be hunky-dory. You're going to laugh, giggle, and eat all the cookies. I mean, come on, that's what you want, isn't it? Okay, all joking aside, immediately from the jump, what you'll notice is you're not going to be using your whole deck, because you're going to end up with a lot of creatures, capsule creatures. We will call them creature cards. I won't make that mistake, but you're going to end up with a lot of creatures. And what's going to happen is you're going to have to plan, plot, and strategize for the way that you think that you're going to have to move. Now, they'll give you a little hint at the beginning of the stage when you're getting ready for the arena to say what opponent has what element, or rather what affinity they will be attuned with. Now, speaking of opponents, who's all in this game? Well, let's go ahead and list off a few. So we have our boy Kaiba, we have Bandit Keith, we have Merrick, and we have the man himself, Duke Devlin, along with the class of others, just as My Valentine and Pegasus and all that fun stuff. Those first four are obviously, I mean, kind of like the most funniest, especially because of the abridged series, like they're just favorites. But anyways, going back to the game. Sorry about that. So let's talk about summoning. So when you summon, your action points, or AP, increase based on the creature type, the points that it is allotted, and all of that fun stuff. So basically what that means is you have some creatures with higher power, or you have a lot of bulk, then you want to go ahead and summon them as fast as you can to have the most AP at the beginning of the game. Now, I usually create a deck or a pack to where I can do all of this within the first turn, and I'm at plus 300, which is typically the max amount that you can work with, and this way I can move each one of my creatures or attack with each one of my creatures. Another thing you'll notice is based on the map type, or what may have you, you may have different conditions where certain creatures will get an increase or a decrease to their attack and defense. Now, you may have some areas where certain creatures get a bonus to their attack, but a negative to their defense, or vice versa. And I think that is just a fantastic part of this game, is not only strategizing which pieces to use, but also the map is working against you. So that means you have to double the strategy. So if you're working on this map, and Joe, our boy Joe, he's double weak in this map. It's all water. It's earth and water. I mean, he screwed the pooch on his deck. So basically this first match is pretty simple. It's just tedious because your creatures are weak. Another thing to take into consideration is when you use a lot of your creatures, what's going to happen is they're going to get experience points. The more experience points they have, the higher their attack is. So even if you have something that's very small as far as like a monster point or whatever may have you, you can really build up your creatures to be just crazy powerhouses. Like the Skull Angel is ideal. You want the Skull Angel, especially for later points in the map when you will have reversals happen, when you will have crazy things happen. So keep your initial deck, keep that in tow. Just keep some creatures like, okay, we gotta bulk you up a little bit. Trust me, you will want to do that. Because there is no better feeling than to take one of your creatures from the beginning of the game, such as the Happy Lover or the Skull Angel, and getting the title of Capsule Monster Champion with it, because it is an obscene level. So really think about that as well, because while the new capsules are nice and they're cool and shiny to have, they may not be as powerful as ones that you've actually spent some time with and built your deck around. So you'll have to take that into consideration as well. And you'll also notice that certain pieces can move in certain patterns, and they can attack in certain patterns. So you may have multiple creatures that can move 3 to 4 spaces out, but their attack patterns are different, ranging from attacks that are 2 spaces out, attacks that are horizontal, attacks that go in a straight line, hitting multiple enemies at once. That'll happen later in the game. And attacks that are just straight ahead of you, all 4 sides. So that's another way that you're going to have to plan, plot, and strategize. Also, I am totally ripping that from Denzel Curry. I have that song stuck in my head, so that's where that's coming from. But anyway, I really wanted to talk about this game and my love for it, and really I'm speaking off the top of my head about all of this because, one, I just retained all of this by playing it over and over again, and two, I really wanted to share this because while it isn't one of the most biggest fan favorite even games, I don't think that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans are saying, hey, let's play Capsule Monster Coliseum. But I do think that it's a fun way to pass the time, and I think that the little things like the battle animations that it shares, or whether it's the story itself, which can be kind of muddled, I mean, you're just going to different arenas, but I do think that it has a certain charm that maybe the show itself wasn't able to capture, but the game did very well. And that, my friends, is Capsule Monster Coliseum. It's a lot of fun, and if you have a way to play it, I suggest that you try it out. If you haven't played it before, it's a great way to pass the time, and it's honestly just a killer time to have fun with. You can play multiplayer, so you can have multiple people playing at the same time. Well, not at the same time, it's turn-based, but still, you know what I mean. And it's just really cool to see how different decks can work, and you can build your own and stylize it the way that you want it, as well as just choosing the pre-made one or however you want to play. If you're looking for something quick, then you'll do pre-made. But it is definitely worth the time and the energy to just pour some time into this. That's kind of redundant, but you get my point. It's a lot of fun. And with that, everybody, I think I've gushed about this game enough, and I hope that if you can, you will try it out, because it's well worth it. So, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K gang, let's go.
It's time to do